I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I can take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts feeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling.
Welcome to Chasing Redline. If you're new here, do me a solid and hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoy the rest of the video, hit that like button as well. Now on with the video. So there she is, yellow ghost flames, if you can see that. She's lowered 1 inch. As you can see, there's a 1 inch lowering kit right there where she's taken down. The wheels are chromed out. You'll see the fenders are different than you'll see on a typical Magna. Chromed out front as well. The grips are replaced. The foot pegs are replaced, and then you'll notice the foot controls are typically here, but I have relocated them upwards. There's a fella who manufactures these and sells them, and it works great. So you can relocate it forward. You do need to remove the engine guards in order to achieve that. But once you remove those engine guards, you get a pretty sweet look, and it's really comfortable. Corbin seat. Corbin does a fantastic job with these seats. The stitching is beautiful. The stitch flames, you can choose whatever color you want, and those work really well. So Honda Magna 95 is the first motorcycle, real motorcycle that I bought. So this is a 95 Honda Magna VF 750C that I purchased when I was probably, I think, 17, and this bike was my first love. So I learned to ride a true motorcycle on this. I'd ridden four-wheelers and dirt bikes some, but as far as actually getting on an actual true motorcycle and riding that around, this was it. This is the one. And I found this one for sale. A guy in my hometown at that time was looking to part with it, and really didn't have too many miles on it. It was 9,000 miles he had put on this at the time, and right now we're clocking 26,967, almost 68 here. So since that original 9,000, everything else is me. This thing has been to Memphis. This thing's been camping in Arkansas numerous times. This thing has definitely experienced about every twisty highway Arkansas has to offer. So this has been really a good bike for me. Now let's talk about the Honda Magna. Now this one is the 3rd generation Honda Magna. This is, and for those of you who don't know the Magna, it is essentially, at least the 3rd generation Honda Magna. They took the motor out of the VFR sport bike and retuned it, slapped some chrome on it, threw it in a cruiser body, and boom, you've got the Honda Magna. It's a 4-cylinder 750 that puts out somewhere in the 80 horsepower range and between 50 and 60 torque. So that's the bike that you have here. Now, it also red lines at about 9,500 RPM, and that is where the fun begins. You get this thing on the highway, or really from, you know, anything stoplight to stoplight, and it's kind of a hoot. So it took me a while when I first got this bike to realize how it's meant to be run, and it's meant to be run like this. That's how this bike is meant to be ran. But it doesn't have to be that way. This thing can be a tourer. You can put bags on it and a windshield. I'll put some photos in the video of back when I was actually touring with this thing. But now, ever since I bought the Victory, this has become my fun bike. So take the windshield off, take the bags off, take the Mustang seat off, and go out and have fun on this thing. So this is what this bike is for me now. It's a round town bike. As far as power band, this thing gets happy about that 7,000 RPM range. We'll see if I can get it a spot here to really showcase that, but it'll get up and go. If you ride it, if you don't get up to those RPMs, you're not going to see it. You're not gonna experience what this bike actually has to offer unless you let it get up into those high rev ranges. So when you get to about 7, you'll notice it starts to open up, and it becomes a lot more fun. We'll see if we can get a spot here. She will get up and go. We got too much traffic on this road. We gotta get off of here. Probably the only downside that really comes to this bike is they don't make them anymore. That's one. That's first of all. So which is kind of sad. I've been kind of interested to see if Honda will ever think to bring back the Magna name, because it's pretty well thought of. People talk about the Magna. Rarely do I hear anybody say, hey, that bike was awful, or hey, that bike was a failure. Usually when people talk about the Magna, which isn't just solely the 3rd generation, but the V65, the V45, and then the VS750C, folks who have Magnas love their Magnas. So I could see Honda capitalizing on that name recognition. All right, here we go. We're gonna try and not get a ticket here. But I can see Honda trying to capitalize on that name recognition and bring the Magna back, and I think folks would dig it if they stayed true to what they were trying to do and make a muscle cruiser that doesn't just look the part but acts the part. I don't know if there's I don't know if folks would buy into it or not. You guys give me your thoughts. If Honda brought back the Magna in some form and it was legit, and what would you guys think of it? Let's not be held down to the low RPM range, and let's not compete with Harley. Let's bring that back, and look at that. That's let's not compete with Harley. Let's bring out a high revving. Let's stay true to the spirit of, let's take a sport bike engine. Let's slap some chrome on that thing, redline it at 10,000 RPM, and let that thing loose. I don't know. What do you guys think? If they brought that back and brought a high revving muscle cruiser to market that was liquid cooled, 4-cylinder, run your face off type bike, would you buy it? Would you entertain that type of motorcycle for what, like the Sportster S and all the naked bikes that are out now. And that's the interesting thing about the time when this was built, is that naked bike craze really didn't exist. If you wanted power, this is what you went with. You went with something like this, or you went with a sport bike. But if you didn't want a sport bike, this is really what you get. But now you've got the whole naked bike segment, and if you want sporty comfort, I mean, is there really a niche and a market for this bike anymore? I don't know. I don't know. I think some folks would be super jazzed, and I think that name recognition would help, but I don't know if it would sell. And so maybe they should just leave it alone. Curious what you guys think. Let me know in the description. Let's see. Ah, mirror, mirror down, mirror down. Oh, these guys are gonna hate me. I'm rolling through here super loud, so let's be a little respectful here. Through a residential area, could be kids around. Let's talk about downsides to the Magna. I think apart from, I think really the rear drum brake is the only thing that's kind of quirky. So you don't see too many bikes with I can't think of a single bike with a drum rear brake right now. The seating position, I have modified it. So I've done quite a bit to this bike. It is not the same bike that I bought originally. So, and we'll take a stop here at some point and we'll talk about that. But this bike is definitely a comfortable bike, especially, and you gotta decide if you want the mid controls, or what I've done is I put some forward controls on it, which makes it a little bit more laid back. But I don't feel like you lose much in the way of flickability on this bike. It's pretty nimble. This bike's about 500 pounds. So with the power to weight ratio, you get to go, but it also feels really flickable. So there's not really too much that you're losing. She is a carbureted bike, so she can be a little cold-blooded when you start her. You definitely don't just jump on and go. It does have a choke, so you're going to use that, and then also you're gonna leave it running for a good few minutes before you jump on the road. She'll warm up, and once she does, she will move. That's too much fun. That's too much. Woo! That's too much fun. They shouldn't give you that much power. I'm just kidding. No, it's a blast. The throttle just, like, you hold on when you jump into that thing, because it will just go away from you if you let it. This bike is way too much fun. Now, the crazy thing about these bikes is how cheap you can get them. This bike was, I mean, you can get one of these for, I mean, $3,500 easy. If you're getting a deal, you can get it for about $3,000. And they are super fun. Talk about a neat starter bike. It could get you in trouble a little bit too as a starter bike. But you can, I mean, all you got to do is keep it in the low RPMs, and boom, you've got a pretty docile ride. But then there's a point where you realize that, hey, let's downshift. There's a lot of headspace up there. It gets fun really fast. There's that little bit of joy factor. That's just the amount of joy you can get out of a Honda Magna for your dollar. Just like grins per dollar. Like heart pumping joy that you can get out of one of these bikes for the $3,000 you're probably going to put into it is pretty darn good. I mean, this is, I get smiles out of this bike. This is my go out and have smiles ride. And throw some unbaffled exhaust on there and just open the thing up and make it obnoxiously loud.